This is the EufyMake E1 UV Printer. It's the most budget-friendly UV printer on the market and allows small creators in their bedrooms or studios or shops to harness some pretty impressive technology. For decades, UV printers were confined to industrial settings and they were bulky, expensive, and too complex for everyday users, until now. That's why I'm super excited that EufyMake reached out to me to sponsor this video. They were like, hey, you wanna try this thing out? I said, sure, I'll take this thing for a test run. I have so many ideas. This thing can UV print in 2D. It can even do 3D, like raised printing. It can print on ceramic and wood and metal and just a ton of different materials. And I have some fun ideas to put this thing through its paces. So I think the first thing we should do is jump into a couple of quick test prints just to make sure Nick set this thing up right. Actually, Nick, you set this thing up. How was the setup process?
In terms of like at home, very complicated like pieces of equipment, this has probably been one of the easiest setups I've done. Like if you ever set up like a 3D printer, you gotta level the bed, you gotta make sure that, you know, whatever screw is just the right tightness. This was basically like open up the box, put the ink cartridges in, scan a QR code, and you're good to go.
So this is set up now. Let's jump into some test prints. We downloaded the EufyMake app, connected it to our printer, and pretty much just sat back while the printer set itself up. Nick laid down the mini flatbed adhesive mat, and then the printer initialized the jets, calibrated its cameras and lasers, and this thing was ready for printing. The app said, yo, you wanna run a test print? And we were like, yeah. And we were like, oh, there's these included ceramic magnets. Sweet, let's use those. So after looking at the options of the included test art, I picked this little kitty cat, because it's cute. We placed the magnet on the print bed and used the snapshot feature to line up the print perfectly to the magnet. This one was really cool because it's an example of the 3D printing that this thing can do, and I was super impressed with the height and texture that this was able to create. After the first print went well, we said let's test it on one of my art pieces. So we loaded up another magnet, the printer scanned it to get the right size and dimensions, and we decided to print this tiger pack painting I made a while ago to really see how detailed this printer can get at a small scale. And holy cow, I'm impressed. I don't know if the camera's gonna do justice to how clean this print really is, especially considering the fact that this magnet is less than 3 inches tall. Okay, those first couple tests on these little sample tiles went well, but Eufy sent me a bunch of other stuff, so I wanna try out this too, especially like these cylindrical tumblers. This is crazy.
Rotary.
Totally rotary. The rotary attachment lets you print on round objects, and even if it's not a perfectly flat round object, it self-levels, so you can print on cups that are wider at the top and narrower at the bottom. Then I picked out one of my designs I wanted to print, lined it up, and let the printer do its thing. Okay, the moment of truth. Ooh, that's cool. Even that tiny text is like legible. Okay, so they also sent a pack of these wooden panels, and I kind of wanted to test out their raised 3D analyzer thingy on one of my pieces of art. So we went ahead and installed this larger flatbed thingy here so that I can place my canvas inside here with this larger surface for it to sit on. Okay. Let's go to the computer. I loaded up one of my trading card illustrations into the software and clicked this relief texture option, and the software started analyzing my design and turning it 3D. I like this little visualizer they have so you can kind of see what your design is gonna look like. Then we started the print job and away it went. Okay, this thing is crazy. It did such a good job with the print. The colors are gorgeous. The raised 3D texture is so cool. Each one of these little dots on this Gila monster is like raised up. I don't know anything about 3D modeling or rendering, and the built-in software did a good job. Even this back leg way in the background is like super flat, and then the front one is super raised, and the tongue is even raised above the jaw, and all the font is raised up. That's crazy, because this is not like a photorealistic drawing. My art style is kind of weird and kind of crazy. It's not like there was a dog and then some AI was like, this is a dog, I will compute. Like, this is a weird illustration with weird colors, but it still did a good job. Are we seeing the depth? Is the depth coming through on the camera? That's fire, son. But now that we've done a couple of tests, I have an idea. You know, it's all well and good to buy a bunch of blank things and print on them, but I'm a cheap bastard. So I think we should go to thrift shops and find junk to turn into amazing art. Nick, I think we should turn this into a little challenge, bro. Here's $30 for you.
$30.
Here's $30 for me. We're gonna go into thrift stores, see what we can find, and then we're gonna have a little mini competition between me and Nick about turning thrift store junk into a profitable money-making scheme. Okay, we are at the Goodwill. Now, I think we should go in separately so we don't see what each other's getting. Should we rock, paper, scissors to see who goes in first?
Let's do it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I go in first. All right, I'm going in. Okay, we got some glass stuff. Could make my own crossword book. Hydro flask set, $35 though. Okay.
My name's Nick. I'm 6'6". I'm here to have a good time, not a long time, and I'm not worried about stepping on anybody's toes.
Ooh, the little clock. Found this. Oh yeah, boy. Got a clock in the tray. Yeah. I'd say I had a pretty successful mission and found a variety of objects and surfaces I could test out this printer on. I think I got my haul. Let's go. All right. Should have brought a bigger car. This is gonna be fine though. Don't even worry about it. Nick, I will tell you, I spent after tax $23.99. I rounded up 1 penny for charity, so it's 24 flat. The mission is yours.
Yeah, I have those plates. How much for that thing? What if I did a customized every key on a keyboard?
I wonder if Nick is gonna get like a lot of similar stuff to me. There's only so much you can grab at a Goodwill that will actually fit inside of that printer.
Okay, so this phone case does fit my phone, and it's only $1. Should I print Peter's face on this punching bag thing? Naturally, I have to get this.
We'll see what he grabs.
There's too many choices here. I could customize the crap out of that, and that would be pretty sick. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do with this stuff, but I think I can piece something together here.
What'd you spend?
$15 flat. I also rounded up 20 cents for charity.
Well, you came in under what I did. All right, let's go back to the studio and see what we got. Goodwill. Okay, my first item is an oversized $5 bill.
That's pretty cool.
A little bit chewed up on the edges, but real money is a little bit chewed up.
That's fair.
This cost me 99 cents.
First item, go basic. I got a phone case that fits my phone.
That's a good find.
Yeah, 99 cents.
My next item.
Oh, that's cool.
Cute little clock. I said
Hey, no, we don't have an HR department here, Peter.
Get that bleep button ready. This was $2.29.
I got a Hot Wheels car.
I was about to buy that exact
I got
car.
a Hot Wheels. I saw these on the way out and I said, wait a second. I think this might be a good one right here.
Yeah, I was in the mindset of like, if we were flippers and we were trying to turn junk into art, what could I flip? And I didn't think I could flip this for very much.
That's fair. See, I was thinking, what do I think with my art skills can I make that looks way cooler than yours?
Oh, okay. My next item is this tray. I was thinking for my weed smoking people out there, this might make a nice little ganja tray.
lemon.
Break up that sticky icky, that I'm gonna have to bleep everything.
This is
Smoking fat
some don't.
Oh, this was $1.29.
I got a keyboard. I figured custom keyboard.
There's like literal chocolate on the J.
That's fine. A little.
We hope it's chocolate.
This was $5.49.
Wow, that's spendy. All right, I got this cutting board.
That looks a little stained.
Yeah, but we're gonna print right over the stain. If you've got stains on your cutting board, just print over it. My cutting board was $3.29, which I think makes it the most expensive item so far.
I got this mug. It says, of course I'm right, I'm Swedish. And my grandma was a Swedish immigrant. So I got a whole nice big canvas on the back side of this mug. What am I gonna do with it? I don't know.
How much did you pay for that one?
This was 99 cents.
I got this. It was, whoa, this was $4.49?
That's pricey.
That's steep. But it's a hard, flat wall art hanging surface with slight canvas texture.
Somebody had like a framed puzzle.
You could make your own puzzles if you just took somebody else's already complete puzzle and just print over the top of it.
Yeah.
All right, you got one more item?
All right, this thing right here. We got Kettler Racing here, made in Germany. That's metal, baby. All right, adjustable length. All right, I almost fit on this thing. Overall, I think this is an excellent canvas.
All right, and my final item. I really bought this for the chairs because you had to buy the table and the chairs together. This was only $7 for this full set. You know, I have 2 daughters. I thought it would be kind of cool if I made them like custom seats.
Really pulling up the fans' heartstrings here, Peter.
And then maybe they could make an art project themselves out of painting this tabletop because I don't know if this would fit inside of that print bed. So, that's our haul. I spent $24, you spent $15. So can we turn $24 and $15 into $1 million? To start off, I wanted to make a custom face for this little clock I bought. So I popped it open and took apart the guts and removed the face and loaded it into the printer. I hit snapshot so I could scan the face of this clock and then pulled in this Arid Jack character from one of my trading cards. I thought this design fit really perfectly on this clock. I got my clock put back together and I think this thing actually turned out awesome for my first project.
I already got a great idea with the Hot Wheels car here. Instead of making the car look really cool, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and make the car look like it's a piece of crap. Instead of it being like a Hot Wheels, it's like oh, this is a Shot Wheels, you know? Like, oh, that car's shot. And then I'll like redesign this packaging to make it look like it's like a busted old Audi and not like a nice cool one.
Okay, I was looking at my stuff and I was thinking about this tray, and the only thing that concerns me about this is that it has this super high raised lip, and when the machine wants to go and print inside of here, is it going to be able to put whatever print heads it needs to like close enough to this surface to work properly, or is this gonna be in the way?
Oh, hi there, good morning. It is Monday morning, beautiful weekend I had. This right here, it's a mug that says, of course I'm right, I'm Swedish. On the back here is a nice empty spot for me to put property of editor Nick. I'm gonna try and find a font that matches this one.
Okay, my clock turned out super sick. I have my panel kind of painted with a base layer of white. I still need to do some painting on my cutting board. I think this one's gonna turn out to be actually the most tricky because I want to maintain some of this dollar bill and then add some of my own stuff. So we'll see about that one. Anyway, I'm gonna keep working on these and keep pushing forward. Nick was on the hunt for the perfect font to match his Swedish mug. And once he found it, he got that beautiful baby printed right up with the spindle attachment. I'm really loving the color, the detail, and the versatility of how this printer can print. And I also love how it has this automatic self-cleaning system built in. It's important for this UV printer to kind of flush its system every once in a while so it doesn't get clogged up or dried up. And the EufyMake E1 has that whole process done automatically.
I had the idea of making it look like the back of a Vivid Kingdoms card. So as you can see, the proportions don't work out well. So I took a picture of the photo booth. I think I'm just gonna do like a pretty simple vector version of it and then print that on the back of this because I think it's really cool.
It was time for me to start working on my giant $5 bill. I took a picture of it and brought it into Adobe Fresco and started to artify this thing. I wanted my art to mix in with the existing graphics of this money, so I hope it's not too tricky to line it up accurately to this $5 bill. Righteous. Okay, my clock, pretty freaking sick. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but you can see just the tiniest hint of some of the font that was originally there. It's not super noticeable, but I think this said like Spartus and this said Quartz, and the little number 1, you can see a tiny bit through the print. And my $5 bill, really cool in concept, but also you can see the original thing through the print, which, you know, that could be a look that you go for. It is kind of cool to see a little bit of the print through it. And actually, if you look very closely at the face, you can see, what is it, who's the Presidente on this one? Lincoln. You can literally see Lincoln's like original eye as a third eye in the middle of my central character's face there, which is kind of a happy accident. But after doing this one and this one, I discovered there's a setting inside of the software where you can select how many base layers of white you want the printer to print. I think on these it was just at 1, but if I bump it up higher, like 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of white before I even lay down my color inks, I think it would get rid of some of this undertone that you can see through my printing. User error. I should have like read more stuff before I just dove in and started making art, but I'm an artist, I just want to create. Screw your rules, man. So that's good to know moving forward. And then this one turned out just gorgeous. This is just a really nice print on a hard canvas textured wall hangable freaking thing. I feel like something like this could just sell all day, you know? My client doesn't have to find a frame for it. They can just put it straight on their wall, just like that. Really nice, cool art print on a 3D raised hard object that I got for $4.50 from Goodwill. Let's go, baby! Also, this paper is like very glossy, and I'm scratching on the finest part of the print, and it is not coming off. Scratching on there, it is not coming off. Can we use something a little harder? tiny bit on the corner there when I'm scratching it with metal, but it's pretty durable. Okay, there's more junk to turn into art. Let's keep going. Okay, I'm gonna try out the tray. Now, I have serious doubts because of that super indented shape. I hope I don't break the freaking printer. But for science, I think we gotta try it out. This might be the one shape that this thing can't do. Can this even fit on my platter? That's the first question. Maybe just barely? I think that'll be okay. Oh, you know what else I just realized right after I finished recording? Look at this. It has a little hump in the middle too. So it goes down and then a hump in the middle up and then down and then up. This might be the worst decision ever. So I took a snapshot of the platter and the printer scanned all the heights of this particular item. I loaded in my artwork, got everything lined up and hit print. Now, I'm thankful to say that this thing did not break the printer in any way. Because the snapshot accurately scanned the height of this object, the object didn't like crash into the print head or anything like that. But the print did not turn out. Basically, it printed on the highest part of the object, and then the low parts just became kind of like a misty, I don't know. The print head could not get close enough to the bottom of this platter to be able to print on it accurately, so I just stopped the print job in the middle, and I think we've discovered the one weakness of this printer. Basically, for the best results, you want to print on the highest point of any object. If it's flat, that's fine. If it's curved outwards, you can totally print on the highest point. But if it's kind of concaved inwards, your print will probably be blurry, or just in this case, like this platter, basically non-existent. Okay, now it's time for me to work on these chairs. Baya! I got two daughters, Juniper and Luna. Maybe I can make a custom chair for each of them. Luna's not quite old enough to sit in a big girl chair all by herself, but the time keeps on ticking, so she'll be sitting in one of these soon enough. So I gotta get these things taken apart and cleaned up. Why did I not realize this morning when I was getting dressed that I just looked like a bootleg Luigi? Bold choice with the all green. Kinda seems like an IKEA style of putting furniture together. Definitely IKEA vibes. Oh, I don't even have to take apart the whole chair. This is the piece I need the most, and I feel like I can put this back together and paint the wood as well. Easy, now I just gotta do that to this second chair, and we Gucci. First things first, let's get this Goodwill grime off and clean everything up. Then I measured my canvas and busted out the iPad to get sketching. On these illustrations, it's time for me to go full dad mode and forego any, artistic interpretation and beautiful artwork and just crank up the slider on cuteness, throw in some sugar and spice and everything nice, and just make a straight up fairy princess illustration. You gotta know your audience, Once my drawing was done, I brought it into Photoshop to finish up my design. Then these custom seats were off to the printer.
All right, I decided to ditch the keyboard in order to make this one extra cool, but I learned something about it after we got it back. These spin from the rear, meaning this is a drift trike, which makes it way cooler. And it also means I'm gonna try and figure out if I can make it long enough for me to ride it. Because right now, as you can see, I don't fit comfortably on this. I'm gonna get this thing cleaned off and see if I can extend it.
While I'm over here making fairy princess chairs for little kids, Nick is taking something intended for a little kid and making it for a man. He's got a full-blown auto body shop going, and I don't know what he intends for this thing, but it looks like it's shaping up to be pretty badass.
I think ketchup has the win. By the way, I made this color match thing when Peter was on vacation, like last year. So if you want to see a video about that, Peter's vacation, and me making this, subscribe to the Patreon, and you can get exclusive behind-the-scenes footage. Across the finish line, he wins. This thing's pretty cool. It's a little rickety, but pretty sickety. I want to design a livery with the DTF laminator, which makes stickers. So I think I can make a bunch of stickers to kind of put all over this thing. So I want to try and print on these hubcaps, but they're pretty textured, so I don't know if that's going to work, but I'll give it a shot. Other than that, let's get working on the livery for this thing, because I got some fun ideas.
I taped off my cutting board, then used this GAC 100 to kind of prep the surface to be painted. I hit it with a spray paint gradient, then I laid down some matte medium to kind of seal in my spray paint. I had the printer take a snapshot of my cutting board, then I loaded up this green rhino artwork, then I just let the printer do its thing. Meanwhile, Nick was deep in the world of Photoshop, designing all the livery for his drift bike. The ink from this printer is resistant to heat, water, and UV rays, so it should be durable enough for this application.
I want to make sure that this cart is sturdy enough, so I cut some pieces of wood so I can triangulate from the handlebars back to underneath the seat, just to tie everything together a lot stronger.
I was outside painting my chairs and table. First, I hit it with a layer of white just to kind of prime the wood and get it ready for the color that I was gonna choose. Then of course I reached for this nice princess pink. Yo, why does this sunset painting footage look so good? It's a happy accident that I decided to do this at golden hour. Cinematic! Anyway, I grabbed the spray varnish to varnish these seats, and Nick got to work making some super cool custom hubcaps and license plate for his drift bike.
Good morning. It's the next day again. This turned out sick. Probably my favorite thing that I've made so far. I'm gonna spray this stuff along with the wooden parts that I added to the tricycle with some semi-gloss varnish to try and get it to match.
Okay, I got my pink chairs done, and now I kind of want to put like their names right up here at the top of the chair. So we'll try printing this weird shape.
I'm so sweet. Making something nice for my daughters. Have fun with that when I'm drifting past you on my sick trike.
Okay, so that print came out kind of messed up. This tiny raised edge right here made it so that the print head couldn't get close enough, and the print just doesn't look that good, especially when you compare it to this like super beautiful print. We can do a scratch test. This is not scratching off. That's what's really nice about this UV printing is like it's pretty durable. So I'm gonna sand this off and paint over it and just not have their little names right there, which is kind of a bummer.
You gonna print it as a sticker?
I don't know if you could hear Nick off camera, but he suggested maybe a sticker might be a good option. He's doing some stickers right now. I'll let him be the guinea pig on that. In the meantime, yeah, I'm gonna sand this off and just kind of paint over this little secchione right there. Fiddlesticks! So I grabbed my sander, and as a testament to how durable these prints are, it actually took me a good amount of elbow grease to actually get this print off. Meanwhile, Nick is still just going all out on this bike and custom printing his own tires.
Yes, son.
Have you heard about those new Garbellis? It's the hottest new tire in street racing. I guess we can add rubber to the list of materials that this also can print on. And now Nick is taking this UV DTF print method on its inaugural test run. This thing prints directly to a film, and then we have this laminator that basically makes your graphics into like a transparent die-cut sticker that can be applied to most surfaces. And after seeing Nick use this method, I think this might be the solution to those nameplates I want to put on the top of my chairs. Okay, second attempt at these nameplates for my chairs. EufyMake sent us this laminate paper or sticker paper or whatever it's called. So I'm gonna load this up and try and print my designs on this, and then maybe I can stick them on the chairs. First, I got my sticker sheet laid down on this flatbed and pressed it down into place. Then I took a snapshot over on my computer and got my designs put in place, and I turned on global ink mode so that my settings would apply to both designs and set this to sticker. I forgot to record a clip of me peeling off the top protective plastic, so here's a clip of Nick doing it earlier on his designs. Then I went ahead and hit print, and the printer started printing my designs onto this sticky surface. I peeled off my printed designs and ran them through the laminator. And when that was done, I cut out Luna's name and placed it on the back of the chair. I pressed it all down really well, then as carefully as I could, I removed the top piece of plastic. And that looks pretty good. Then I just had to repeat the same process for Juniper's chair. The hardest part is making sure it's level and evenly spaced. I think I did a better job on Junie's chair than Luna's, but with that, the chairs are done. Okay, our projects are done, and Nick and I are just about to find out who is the best thrift shop flipper. And we decided these products are gonna be for sale on my website, and 100% of the profits are gonna go to the Alzheimer's Association. Nick picked out the charity, and it's one that's near and dear to his heart. Here's their rating on Charity Finder. Seems like a good one. So 100% of the profits, if anyone ends up buying these, goes to the Alzheimer's Association. Now let's go find out who's the best thrift store flipper. Welcome back to Goodwill Hunting, the reality TV show where we go to Goodwill and try to flip items for profit.
I thought you were gonna say the reality show where we taste apples.
How you like them apples?
Do you like apples?
Yeah.
How do you like them apples?
All right, so my first item on Goodwill Hunting is this custom cutting board. I went ahead and signed it with my artist signature, thus increasing the value. I think I'll put this on my website for $35. It's got real spray paint, got a nice, beautiful art print. It's signed. So I'm at $35 right now.
This one's not for sale.
Okay, so you're still at zero.
Still at zero, still negative 15. Of course, I'm right, I'm Swedish. On the back says property of editor Nick. That's why it's not for sale. Belongs to me now. Shout out to 1000 Ink for buying me a mug.
Up next, we have this beautiful art print, nice hard surface, canvas texture, 2 inches of depth, I'm assuming, signed to the back so you know it's authentic. I think I'll do this one for $39.99. Hanging hardware included. So my total is
$75, I think.
here. It's where the graphic.
In the edit, that's following your hands the whole way.
This is my total. Can you focus on the number?
My first item for sale is this lovely phone case. This can fit a few different generations of iPhone, and I think it's actually made for a 14. Beautiful design here of the photo booth. I think I'll sell this for $9.99. Pretty reasonable for a phone case, and I will paint these edges to match before it goes on the website.
You know what? I have never sold phone cases for one specific reason. Like if I order like 1,100 phone cases in bulk, then like 3 months later, the new model comes out and like half of my audience is limited. But if we had on our website, like you could do a little drop down menu, select your model type.
Bespoke.
Yeah, and then we print it right there. We could just like send you your phone case.
Yeah,
Bespoke phone case printing.
$9.99, 10hun.shop. Don't buy that junk, buy this.
All right, I got my beautiful raised.
Hey, you didn't thrift that.
Oh yeah, this one doesn't count. This is a test print. Okay.
He's cheating over here.
I have my vintage clock. The original clock was made in Louisville, Mississippi. I went ahead and signed the back. It is working with a fresh battery. Battery will be included. We're gonna do this one for $29.99 and you'll be able to tell the time for years. Your timekeeping problems will be solved the moment you get this. Who cares that your phone can tell time? Who cares that you've got an Apple Watch? It's time to keep it old school, ladies and gentlemen, with the Era Jack Custom 1000 clock. On sale now for $29.99.
Strap that thing to your wrist, you'll be styling.
You can put a chain on it and be Flava Flav.
Flava Flav!
Yeah, boy!
Next item for sale, we've got Shot Wheels.
Woo!
Everybody around's heard of Hot Wheels before. Have you ever heard of Shot Wheels?
Woo!
I sure have. I've owned 9 cars and I'm 28 years old. It's not because I'm balling and I just have money to buy a bunch of cars. It's because I only buy junk cars.
That's right, I can attest to that.
This is a 1994 Mechanic Special, baby. It's got a different colored hood. The headlights are yellowed. It's missing a headlight. Cracked windshield, we got it. Busted side view mirror, we got it. Broken rim, we got it. You can't see it on this, but on the picture, there is a parking ticket on the windshield. Inspired by a parking ticket I got for parking on the street in front of my own home. This is gonna go on the website. I think $19.99 is a good price for this. This is one of one after all. One of one.
Collector's edition.
No reported accidents.
And then we have my beautiful one of one $5 bill with some 1000 artwork.
That's a $1,000 bill, dude.
Yeah, my beautiful $1,000 bill. There's a lot of 10s on this originally, so I went ahead and circled those, put a little crown above that one, put an arrow pointing to that one. Absolutely gorgeous fine art piece with authentic fraying on the edges to make it feel like real money. On the back, I wanted to up the value a little bit, so I signed it and I did 2 original sketches of watchers. This one will be $29.99.
That's a reach. That's Rotary.
This one will be $19.99.
$4.99 is a good price for
What?
that.
I have to at least double my $5 money. Let me protect my investments here.
All right, this bad boy right here. Now, originally made for children. Now, this can hold up to at least 200 pounds, because that's how much I weigh, and it holds me for sure. Now, I did have some issues initiating drift. So, I added a drift bar here, okay? So while you're riding, and you can kick out your drifts. We've got custom 100 spoke rims, hubcaps. We got the
Garbellis!
We got the Garbellis.
Garbellis!
Championship Racing is one on Garbelli tires, all right? We got sick flame decals on both sides. One here, one right here on the seat, because when you're driving this bad boy, you're in the hot seat.
Straight
right?
up fire crotch, bro.
On the back, drift machine. And you know what? Whoever orders this, I'll rip this off. I'll take that off. I'll make you your own custom plate and your own custom race tag, all right?
Do we really want to ship this thing?
Oh, dude, we'll flat pack this baby. If somebody orders like 3 hoodies, a t-shirt, and a couple puzzles, that's how big of a box we need to fit this bad boy, all right? I'm thinking, because this is so customizable, right? You'll get your own custom plate. You get your own custom name tag on the back. This thing's just generally really cool, and I don't want to get rid of it. $99.
Whoa!
$99.99.
Hey, big spender.
This could be yours today for $99.99.
This is the table. I'm not gonna leave it on the table because the real star of the show is the chairs. We got the Juniper and Luna Fairy Princess chairs. Obviously not for sale. Come on, what kind of dad would I be if I tried to flip these? Yeah, these are getting flipped straight into the possession of my lovely daughters. And I think these turned out really cool. And they're a really cool project to show how this UV printer can actually be used in unique ways to make something special for the ones you love. I know for like the next Christmas and birthdays, people are gonna be getting a bunch of like custom printed doodads and trinkets from me, and I think they'll like them. It's like a gift giving machine. What can I say about them? They're pink, they're fairy princessy. This is the last thing I would ever choose to draw if I had my own choice, but when you're a dad, you make sacrifices in every area of your life. So as you can see, our totals are this number. I don't know who won this competition, but the real winner is the friends that we made with that new UV printer along the way. I'm super excited to have that piece of equipment in the studio as another tool in the tool belt. There's just so many little art projects where it'll come crazy and handy, not only for just making like pure prints of something, but also maybe like one little tiny part of a bigger art project. It's just a really cool device, and yeah, it's been awesome. So if you want to check out the EufyMake E1 UV printer, there's a link down in the description where you can go check it out and see if it'll be a great fit for your art studio too. And then you can start printing money like us. Yeah, thank you to EufyMake for sponsoring this video. I'm 1000. I'll catch you on the next one. This stuff really will be on the website if anybody wants it. Peace out.
Buy my stuff, don't buy Peter's.